Tom Brady called out NFL quarterback coaching, and I think you guys are going to love this. Check this out.
What do I know?
Yeah, but I would argue this. You're assuming that
I don't watch
everybody
Fox.
knows how
Turn
to
this off. I don't
develop a
watch Fox.
quarterback. You're assuming that you're going into a program. I mean, I'm telling you, this is not – there's a lot of people who have no idea what they're doing when they're tasked with coaching a quarterback or calling an offense. So are you saying – I mean, just like we'd rank quarterbacks 1 to 32, do you rank offensive coordinators 1 to 32? Do you rank quarterback coaches 1 to 32? Well, what if you have the 32nd ranked coordinator in someone's mind, or the 32nd ranked quarterback coach? How is he getting a level of development that the guy who's first is getting? When I got to the Patriots, I sat behind Drew, who was a franchise quarterback, right? In my second year, it's training camp, and we had a very good quarterback coach named Dick Rabine, and God rest his soul. Unfortunately, he passed away in training camp and of a heart attack. And it was a very difficult loss for our team. And the way that we found a way to continue on that season is Bill Belichick became more of a quarterback coach than we ever imagined him being a quarterback coach. He was he was obviously a head coach, very involved in defensive game planning, but he decided to come in every week and talk to the quarterbacks about coverage.
Real quick before y'all give y'all eloquent takes, we got to talk before the show and post show, me, JB Bailey, about using clips from that network. I'm really against that. I don't like to pull clips from that, but we'll talk about it later. But go ahead, John. Go ahead and react. By the way, it took half my fucking service and taxes, so I'm pissed off.
Shaun, in fairness, before you go, I also said it was dumb as fucking a bag of rocks to put a basketball topic on the show with Matt. But we'll talk about that after the show. Let's get your take, Shaun, on this.
Me and JB been saying this for how many years?
5, 6 at least. I don't know.
Well, 2 on this show.
3.
Like when the incubation. When the incubation of the quarterback position became more about not upsetting the apple cart as opposed to providing the best, highest quality of apples, that's when quarterback play went downhill. And here's what I mean by that. There was a time, if you won a quarterback competition, you were a true killer. Like, you were somebody that was mentally tough, that could lead a group of real men. Like, you down there with military grade. And then all of a sudden, the position, the incubation of the position. And when I say that, I mean, when you get a quarterback, you're getting a young infant that you've got to teach, develop, and help grow into the best version of themselves. When that started becoming about, let's not upset the quarterback, let's not make him mad, let's be his friend. That's when the coaching fraternity went to shit at the position. Because generally what happens, the OC doesn't know diddly squat about coaching the quarterback. So the OC does not want somebody in the quarterback room that would go against whatever the OC's vision of what the quarterback should look like in that system. Does that make sense, JB?
Oh, it does to me, no question.
I ran into this multiple times in that profession. Like, there were guys that were OCs that I was under that would, like, man, some of the stuff that they would say they wanted the quarterback to say. I actually asked one guy, I'm not going to call him by name this morning just because he ain't did nothing to me recently.
Hey, his name.
I don't want to take no shot at him. I told this motherfucker, I said, I guarantee you right now, if we go out there and you try and do this, you can't even stand up right after doing it. Like, you will fall down. Like, some of the stuff that in their mind, they thinking it's ridiculous. It's really ridiculous. And then, like, the thing that's most alarming is after a practice, you'll get in the fucking meeting room and the quarterback will have thrown the ball to the wrong person, 10 feet over his head, and the conversation will start with the footwork of the left tackle. And I'll be like, what in God's green earth are we talking about here? Like, we got a major problem. And if we don't identify it and fix it, then we can all get fired. And that's all Brady's saying. But why would they rank the quarterback coaches? You're going to hurt some people's feelings? There's a whole bunch of guys stealing money. There's a whole bunch of Chase Daniels at quarterback coach. Whole bunch of Chase Daniels at quarterback coach.
That's a nice white dude.
That's what I know. I mean,
it's
it's not a knock. It's not let me clarify. It's not a knock on Chase Daniel. Chase Daniel played the game.
For a long time.
If you're in the game, you should play the game, right? Yeah. There's a whole lot of Chase Daniels at quarterback coach. Guys are just playing the game. Buddy with the OC. Never going to go against nothing the OC say. Listen. Boom. That's Chase Daniel played a long time.
Dan Orlovsky?
Oh, yeah. He definitely a teacher's pet. 100%. I told you about Danny O. Danny O would tell y'all he was a teacher's pet.
Then you say, and I'm not trying to be funny, like on this show, then you say he took your spot late in your career? Or do I have that wrong?
I was in Detroit.
In Detroit.
And, that was a weird situation because when I went to Detroit, Dan Orlovsky was already there. He had got drafted, I think was he third, fourth round pick or something like that, out of Kentucky. They brought me in to compete with Joey. Yeah, UConn, my bad. They brought me in to compete with Joey Harrington.
Okay.
And then all of a sudden, they did a complete 160. Like, this is before OTAs even started.
Right.
I was brought in to compete with Joey Harrington. Dan was going to be the third quarterback. Before OTAs even started, they released Joey Harrington. They signed Josh McCown. They signed John Kitna. So now we had 4 quarterbacks going into OTAs and stuff. It was a weird situation.
Back to the Tom Brady thing. I want to ask you this. First of all, I want to make a statement, Smitty. Defensive coordinators and offensive coordinators know the other side of the ball better than anyone. Right. So I've taken over. You better. I've taken over defenses as the head coach and an offensive guy, and I've actually had top 10 defenses. And I'm not a defensive coordinator by title, but I know how to stop offense, and I know what I'm looking for. And I ran a base defense. I took it over at Indy. I had to because we were horrible on run against the run. And I took it over, and we ran one front. Yep. And we adjusted that one front versus every formation. There was a check for every formation out of that one base front. And guess what? Player Jermaine Johnson, first round draft pick. Guess what? They play faster when they know what the fuck they're doing.
As a defensive player, you keep it simple. We play fast. We ain't got to think. And yeah, you're right.
Then I go over, right? I'll go over on offense and talk to the quarterback or vice versa. If I was an offensive guy, I go over on defense and I tell the DBs, I say, hey, the dog, when the wideout fucking stands up, guess what you should be doing? You should turn the drive phase. And then in case he double moves you, my safety knows that he stood up. It could be double move, so he's cheating over the top in case you do double move my corner. Little ass intricacies like that offense and defensive guys can help the other side out. So I don't know what Belichick does. And I know for a fact Belichick's talked to more quarterbacks than just Tom Brady. He's done it for a lot of different places he's been at to help guys. Like Matt Castle. He'll tell you he's helped him out when he won 11 games for him as a backup, when he had to fill in. Yeah, he said Belichick was incremental to it. So I agree with what Tom's saying, but
JB, you know the takeaway from that is it's not the messenger, it's the message.
It is, and we got guys that giving the message the wrong one though. We got tight end coaches coaching QB.
Right. So the head guys out there, what Bill did, Bill's an expert where he's a back end guy, right? That's where he made his druthers. He came in the quarterback room and he talked about the back end of the defense. A lot of these head coaches are going to the quarterback room, and all of a sudden, now they're the QB expert. Now, they're not in there talking about what it is that their expertise is in. They're in there trying to be the, why is your front foot here? And, why are you? No, he went in there and he talked about his level, his area of elite expertise, because he wanted to simplify it in a way that maybe the quarterback coach couldn't, because the quarterback coach never been a DB coach, most likely. That was the message was I think the thing that I don't want people to miss.
No, I definitely respect that, man, Shaun, and I knew you two would have a good opinion on that, on quarterback play. And staying on the topic of quarterbacks, but before we transition to USF in Florida, last night we had a game. The Commanders lost it to the Packers, and the Packers pretty much dominated the majority of that game. JB believes that Jayden may be in a sophomore slump, as most quarterbacks go through. What's your opinion on how Jayden's looked in these first 2 games?
Well, 2 things. If Green Bay can stay healthy, because boy, they've been bit by injuries the last 2 years, and you think
they got hit last night again.
Christian Watson's already out. Jayden Reed, I think, would say he broke his clavicle or something.
Broke his collarbone. He did. He's out.
So I mean, they've been decimated by injuries. But when they're fully healthy, man, they got some young guys now. But again, Christian Watson's out, Jayden Reed's out, so we'll see if they can sustain it. I want to say this. The general manager in Washington should be ashamed of himself. You've got one of the most dynamic, talented young quarterbacks we've ever seen come into the National Football League. And your average 40-yard dash time at wide receiver might be 5 flat.
Stop.
Outside of Terry McLaurin, this is the slowest, least amount of a short area quickness group of pass catchers I've ever seen that don't even really catch the ball that well. How many balls Noah Brown dropped last night? 83 dropped. Like, they got Zach Ertz, used to be a really good player. He just a middle-of-the-road tight end now. Not the reason they're losing. Deebo Samuel's not really a wide receiver. He's more of like a Swiss Army knife that you can move around. But outside of T-Mac, what is Jayden throwing to? Man, the difference between Lattimore from Washington trying to guard Green Bay's wide receivers, who he couldn't. They attacked him all night. And the stickum that Green Bay's DBs had on the Commanders, I mean, how good Lord. I mean, did Washington think that they could just put anybody out there?
Let me ask you
They
this.
don't have no help. He don't have any help. Look at the running back position, JB. They got rid of Brian Robinson Jr. for what? Austin Eckler, my age. And he's hurt now.
I know. They got that rookie kid who looked like nothing last night. Yeah. So
the young guys who they're investing in, I guess.
Behind a mediocre offensive line. Like, so I can't really fairly say that Jayden's in a slump because Jayden, man, from a personnel standpoint, they ought to be ashamed of themselves. Like, when you got a quarterback like Jayden Daniels, your receiving group should look like Green Bay's. It should be a whole lot of athletic, fast, young guys.
I think they're still dealing with what they had, though. Like, I don't know if they could have, you know what I'm saying? Like, what's his name takes over after a bad 2 years ago where they were horrible. He takes over, turns them last year with basically the same team, just culture change and quarterback, obviously. And then this year, I think they're still stuck with a lot of those old players. So, like, I don't know if they could go do that. Like, I don't know. Unless they did it in trade, to your point, I can see that. They should have. I think
they traded for Deebo, which
to me,
I'm not saying Deebo's a bad player, but I'm saying if I got Jayden,
he's not a guy.
I want elite athletes around Jayden.
I do too. Here's the thing. You missed out to me on Gabe Davis, who's a good free agent, in my opinion, that could have helped in the slot. I'm not saying he's the guy that Shaun's talking about, but he is much better than what they have right now. I'm going to be honest with you. Buffalo just signed him. I bet you he helped Josh Allen. Watch. Then you got guys out there that I think they missed on. George Pickens is one I would have went after if they wanted a wideout. Now he's becoming the guy that won't block, but then you got DK. Why didn't they go after him whatsoever? I just don't think they threw money at anybody, to Shaun's point. But I want to bring a bigger point up why I think sophomore slump's real. Bo Nix, Drake May, Jayden Daniels, CJ Stroud hit it a little bit last year, even though they're still good. I'm not saying they're gonna be bad. I'm just saying here's the reason, and I want to ask Shaun because he played it at that level. From year 1 to year 2, D coordinators, and I've been told this by D coordinators in the league, they will match it up and look the same that they looked year 1 to you when they replay you, but change the coverage. So they're going to basically be in a 2 shell and looks like 2-man that you saw as a rookie a lot, which Washington saw last year. Jayden Daniels excelled. Now, last night, you see 80% zone coverage on the back end by the Green Bay Packers. You see 80% zone coverage by the Tennessee Titans in week 1 against Bo Nix. You see 80% zone coverage by the Raiders and Pete Carroll week 1 against Drake May. And quarterbacks struggle versus zone in the second year because they can't decipher yet
what's going on.
What is it? 2-man? Is it 4 quarters? Is it quarters match? Is it 2 under? They don't know yet. And I think that's why quarterbacks struggle in the playoffs, who are athletic and depend on their feet. Because when they get zone, then there's a spy involved. Then there's a guy dropping out. Now they're spying you plus zone. Now you're holding the ball, and now you don't know where to go. And man, we know where to go. I'm going with my beater. And Jayden's great at that. He throws a great ball. He throws a great accurate ball. He excelled last year. When you get fucking into zone coverage, now you got to understand, who is where, landmarks. And I think they're struggling it, man. That's just the biggest thing I'm seeing. And I saw it last night because Jayden's holding his shit. He's sitting there holding it. The outside backer vacated the slot, Shaun, twice. And I'm like, replace him now before the mic gets there. He fucking holds it, goes outside, and it's batted by the backer that it was the read key. I'm like, damn, throw the ball inside. Slot read. It's an easy replace read. I don't get what the struggle becomes the second year, but I know you know more. So I wanted to ask, why do they struggle versus zone? Or am I just tripping and the coverage is the same?
Well, because the talent supersedes the ability to be patient. When you come into the league, you're already talented. So when you have success, unless you're a historian, you don't look at the quarterbacks that have played at a high level consistently and how did they operate, right? What did Tom Brady and Peyton Manning do on a consistent basis? They said you never go broke taking a profit, right? Mm-hmm. Like their audibles, their line adjustments weren't deep balls. They were all of a sudden switch routes, short game, movement throws, dump offs, to the spot that was going to be vacated. That's the thing. These young guys have had, when you have success early, you think the success is easy. And you look at the Drew Breeses, man, listen, go rewatch those games. Brady and them just did a great job of getting the ball to the underneath receiver in an accurate manner and kept moving the chains. And now you see a lot of young quarterbacks, because they're in shotgun, they're not coming from under center, so it's not much of an emphasis put on getting the ball out on time. They're trying to wait for stuff to develop way down the field so they can make the big explosive play. And listen, one thing Coach Dungy used to say, everybody in the locker room get a check, right? Those guys on the side of the ball get paid too, right?
Yeah.
So you're not always going to have those advantages. And, that's hard to learn at quarterback. I think you're going to really see it this year with Bo Nix, because Bo Nix kind of got that kamikaze demeanor and personality. Like he threw some balls that just didn't make no sense against the Titans in week 1.
Man, I just think O-line, D-line is a huge mismatch nowadays. I think
across the league, though, it's not like anybody has an advantage.
I think it's all across football now, because all the movement that we see in college and high school, they don't get coached up. They're not getting coached. They're getting coached by 4 ideologies and philosophies from 4 different types of coaches. Not only head coach, but now they have a O-line coach difference in college and high school. They get 4 different ones. We got high school kids going to 4 high schools in 4 years. Bishop Gorman Vegas will go to Mater Dei, and he'll leave Mater Dei and go back or go to Bosco. By that time, guess what? IMG Academy's got involved. Now we got a cat from Cali going to IMG. We get a kid from IMG coming to Cali. It's not good.
As much as that's what it is, JB, I think there's always been a gap in athleticism between defensive and offensive linemen. What happened was football took away the bridge that offensive linemen had.
Well, I think quarterback did.
It used to be about violence, physicality, endurance. Like you had to line up with a tight end and a fullback as a D lineman, and when that double team came down on you, play one, you was like, man, I gotta hold up for 20 more of these a day.
It's gonna be a long game, long night, right?
Not only that, son, we took it. I think we took it away at quarterback. I think the quarterback position took that away.
But now the style of play is everybody's in the shotgun.
No, that's my point.
Even the run game is generally just some duo play, or
we get up 90. I got a phone call that 99% of the time, Caleb Williams said turbo. The ball was snapped. 99, 34, 88, turbo, and the ball snapped after turbo.
Let me ask you a question, JB. I'm 48. How old are you?
49.
Yeah, you 1 year older than me. How many times when me and you were in college did we ever not block the box on a run?
That's what I'm saying. That's
the unblocked guy was always a third level or exterior guy. How many times we watch run games now and they're not blocking one of the ends?
All the time. And then we got guys defending like Jayden Daniels. He defended throwing hot off of it. And I'm like, that ain't my.
Now everybody's RPOing. They're not blocking the end. They're not blocking the front side backer.
Don't read. Right.
Yeah, like, so now you got, I mean, come on, man. Like,
hey, I've been telling you. We went from 3-point stance to 2-point stance. And then we went from 2-point stance to blocking the run in 2-point stances, which is less in the physicality. And then you want to get into not blocking DNs and pass plays. So now we're becoming more soft as far as O-line mentality. And then the D linemen are so much more athletic than any other position group, in my opinion. So now we got fucking Julius Pepper types running fucking scot-free up the field. Yep. And now we got to step up and run around, and because the quarterbacks don't know what he's doing. But that's all because we don't control the line of scrimmage with our because we're in the gun.
Right.
So again, if we don't control the snap count and get these D linemen to slow down and be able to check the box and the O-line slide and the mic ID, re-ID the mic and say, all right, safety came down. Now it's 1 high. Now I'm going to re-ID Mike 48. We can't do any of that. You don't even see the quarterbacks even doing it. And
we had as many checks in the run game as
all day. That was the biggest. We had more checks in the run game actually than anything.
Hey, Smitty, if we would have played the defense with Michael Parsons, Michael Parsons would have had to play run defense.
Yeah.
So we would have ran the ball right at him.
Yeah, overload the side, tight end.
Third down, we'd have put the tight end on an H or the back. His only job would have been to chip the living daylights out of Michael Parsons on the first 3 first downs.
And look, go watch.
We're gonna punish on Michael Parsons. You're not gonna just get here. You're not just gonna get here and be able to freelance.
Go watch Aaron Rodgers on the other day, though, against a great D line and a fast defensive edge. Like my kid Jermaine Johnson was getting back there a couple times in pass downs, but other than that, Aaron Rodgers got up to the line of scrimmage. He opposited shit. He checked it. He changed the play call. He did all these different things. You saw it happen also with Stafford and the Rams. He came up there, controlled it. Those guys have guys that understand it and know, okay, I can do this. The other guys are getting up there with the play call in the ear and they're fucking turbo hut. They don't know shit. They're not slowing down the D line. This fucking is a jailbreak offensive line system. We got guys in the backfield, guys running around for their life. It's becoming bad. It's making football bad because if we could control the D line and at least make it a stalemate in some sort of fair game. Right now, D line's dominating, man.
To your point, JB, because people don't know how to coach the quarterback, the West Coast offense is more prominent than it used to be, and it's very wordy.
It is wordy. It's
because guys want to control everything through the play call. Whereas when I went to Indy, man, Tom Moore would give Peyton Manning a double right 60H.
Yeah.
Keep it simple.
Double rights to formation, 60s talking to one side is doing conceptually, H is talking to what the other side is doing conceptually. Now, Peyton's at the line of scrimmage with 20 seconds on the play clock. Well, he can manipulate the snap count, where he can give dummy audibles, like a turbo might be 1 week and then turbo the next is something different because the play call is simple. Right. Now, motherfucker in the huddle, hey, blast, Y bunch right, F counter motion, 72 crisscross, Y swing, X out. Hey, anything strong, we're going 98 bunch crunch. Anything weak, gonna go 200 jet smoke. Man, by the time I spit all that out, hell, I'm trying to hurry the motion up.
Yeah.
And Shaun, I'm glad you said. I asked this the other day. I can't remember like a week or so ago. I never understood why. I think JB kind of answered it and it made a sense for me, but I never understood why the play calls are so damn long.
Because in the West Coast system, the play call tells everybody
everything
what to do.
X out, F flat, Y curl. We tag it all, homie. That's the problem. That's why I'm not that guy. I'm a doubles right, River Houston.
Right.
Houston tells everybody what to do, regardless of coverage. If it's 5 press or less, you got fade. If it's not, it's hits. Everything's built in, and that's how you teach it. I don't get it. I don't think you need to have all this verbiage, but that's what Shaun's point is. It's a great one. You're fucking doing it to protect the quarterback that's not willing or hasn't been taught.
But it's crazy because like they don't do that at college though. At college, you always say they out here showing Stephen A. Smith's face, Ryan Clark, and John King. They got the they're moving fast, and they have success doing it that way. But then they go to the NFL, they got to remember it all. It don't make sense.
So Smitty, let me put you up on game now.
Please.
This is how dumbed down the college game has gotten. And so all of you people that are watching up-tempo offenses, they are really running West Coast centric stuff. Like you see those people with those signs, all those people are talking to a different position.
Yep.
One of them is for the O-line.
Wideouts have their own card, Smitty.
Hey, the Baylor system is so ridiculous. The running back tells the O-line what the play is. Like, I almost lost my shit when they came to USF. And they said the quarterback don't talk to what? I'm like, what the hell are we doing? Like, I'm just like, it has gotten so bad, dude. It's ridiculous.
That's insane. I guess what I was trying to say though is these quarterbacks are coming from an extremely simple, almost too simple system in college. They get to the NFL, and then to me, it's like complete opposite. They make it too complicated. It has to be like a middle ground, like you and JB, you know, we're alluding to where like they can still think fast. They can go up there. They got time on the play clock. Like I feel like it's just two extremes right now at the college.
No, it's like if you got a harem of women, like you want the top quality to be in the harem, right? So you call the yard based on one not being able to cook, you know, one not having good hygiene, you know, one talking too much, not listening enough. Same way a quarterback now. If you can't play, they ain't having no patience with you.